Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Continuing from yesterday's narration, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was telling us about the three people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to test. The three were from Bani-israel. One was a leper, one was bald, and the other was blind. An angel was sent to them and he asked them the questions of what would they like and what was their most beloved, what was the most beloved wealth to them. One of them chose camels, the other one chose cows, and the last one chose sheep. Now, that's where we ended off yesterday. Now, after some time passed, the angel, he came to the first person. He came to the leper, and he came in a very, old, a form which the person could not recognize. He was in, rough shape, and he comes to him and he says, Rajulun miskeen, I'm a person in need. قَدْ انْقَطَعَتْ بِي الْحِبَالِ. My provision has finished. I was traveling, and to get to my destination, there's no one to take me except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then you. So he says, أَسْأَلُكَ بِالَّذِي أَعْطَاكَ اللَّوْنَ الْحَسَنِ وَجِلْدَ الْحَسَنِ. He tells the leper, he says, I ask you in the name of the one who gave you this beautiful skin and nice skin tone. I ask you in his name, and the person who gave you the wealth, or the being that gave you the wealth, I just ask you for one animal, one camel, right? So I can finish my travels. So he says, al-hukuk kathira. I have lots of responsibilities. I have lots of things, and all the excuses we come up with when someone asks us for something. Like, I have this and I have that, and my taxes is coming up, and work is slow right now, and all the different excuses. Then the angel says to this person, he's like, Ka'anni a'rifuk. It's like, I feel like I recognize you. Alam takun abras? Aren't you that same person who was a leper, and the people used to, detest you and they used to hate you? Aren't you that same person? You were destitute, you were poor? فَأَعْطَاكَ اللَّهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you. Aren't you that same person? He says, no. إِنَّمَا وَرِثْتُ هَذَا الْمَالِ كَابِرًا كَابِرًا. That no, this wealth, this stuff that all you see, all the stuff that I have, this I inherited it from my forefathers. The angel told him, إِن كُنْتَ كَاذِبًا. If you're lying, صَيَّرَكَ اللَّهُ إِلَى مَا كُنْتَ. Then may Allah make you like the way you were. Right? And he was lying. The dua got accepted, and this is what happened. Then he went to the next person, the bald person, and he says the same thing, that I'm a traveler, and I need help, I just need one animal. You have a whole wadi. Remember we spoke about yesterday, they were given valleys of animals. Just one. The bald person, he responded with the same thing. That this is, I have too many responsibilities, and I need everything that I have, and I can't help you. And then he made up the lies. Same dua was made. In kunta kadiban, if you're lying, then may Allah make you like the way you were. Then he goes to the blind person. And remember the blind person's, what he said yesterday, the words that I shared. That he asked that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala return the eyesight. The first two people, they said, we just want you to take care of this. They didn't ask in Allah's name. But you can tell because of his character, how the way he asked, you can tell how his response is going to be. And that's why I said to remember it yesterday. He came to the blind person and the same, tattered up, all dusty and whatnot, as a traveler. He says, Rajulun miskeen wabn sabil, I'm a traveler. And again, my provisions have finished, I need your help. There's nothing that can help me except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then you. And then I ask you in the name of the one who gave you your eyesight back. Just give me one sheep, alright? Shatan. So it can help me get to my destination. He says, Kuntu a'ma. I used to be blind. فَرَدَّ اللَّهُ إِلَيَّ بَصَرِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala returned my eyesight to me. فَخُذْ مَا شِئْتَ. Take whatever you wish. Take whatever you wish, وَدَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. And leave whatever you wish. He's like, فَوَاللَّهِ لَا أُجْهِدُكَ الْيَوْمِ بِشَيْءٍ. That by Allah, I'm not going to come in your way for anything that you take. Anything that you want to take, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's for you. أَخَذْتُهُ لِلَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. Take whatever you want. فَقَالَ, the angel said to him, أَمْسِكْ مَالَكَ. Keep your wealth. I didn't want your wealth. فَإِنَّمَا أُبْتُلِيتُمْ. Rather, all of you were tested. You were in a test. فَقَدْ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْكَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has become pleased with you. وَسَقِطَ عَلَى صَاحِبَيْكَ. And he's unhappy with your companions or those two other people that are with you. Why? And this, obviously there's so many lessons just in this one story. But one of the most apparent lessons is that we all go through different tough times. We all go through different situations. And then when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes us out of those situations, we forget. We forget who we were, where we came from, and who took us out of it. And then when a different person or a different situation comes along, we become ungrateful. We become greedy. We got all the bad characteristics of the human, right? We start thinking that no, this is my own doing. This was my own expertise. I went to school and this is my career and my education, and because of my. But no, the blind person knew from the beginning. He says, Allah is going to give me my eyesight back. Allah is the one who gave me my eyesight back. Now anything you want to take for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's for you. Right? So being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every situation and every aspect of our life. Realizing that whatever we were in or whatever we are in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that's going to take us out of it. And once He takes us out of it, we can end up back in it. Like what happened to the other two people. They lied, they became greedy, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them back in that same situation. They started from zero, they ended up in zero. But the last person, he kept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in front of him at all times. And because of that, number one, he was cured, he was given wealth, and after that he flourished and he was able to keep that wealth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the good characteristics that this blind person had. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cleanse us from all the evil and all the vile things of the heart. Ameen wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق وألسنتنا من الكذب وأعمالنا من الرياء وأعيننا من الخيانة فإنك تعلم خائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم إنا نسألك حبك وحب من يحبك وحب عمل يقربنا إلى حبك اللهم أجرنا من النار اللهم أجرنا من النار اللهم أجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة اللهم ادخلنا الجنة بغير حساب وتوفنا مسلمين غير خزايا ولا ندامى ولا مفتونين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين اللهم انصر المسلمين في كل مكان اللهم انصر المسلمين في كل مكان اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى اللهم احفظ حرمين الشريفين اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذ منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.